Hi, this is James for Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at this neat little game here called Odin, which can play up to 2 to 6 players, so it can have a large player count in this small little box. Let's go ahead down the table here. I'm going to show you how to play this game, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Okay, so let's learn how to play Odin, one of my favorite card games ever. I just love this game. This game has 54 cards in it. And if you look here, we have numbers between 1 and 9, and we have 6 different colors. So that's where we get our 54 card count. And this will play up to 6 players. And what we're going to do to start the game is we're going to shuffle this deck. After we shuffle this deck, for every player that we have in the game here, we're going to deal out 9 cards to each of those players. Doesn't matter for player count, it's 9 cards for every player. Now, of course, if you have less than 6 players, you're going to have cards that are left in the deck here that aren't going to be in the game. Now, what do you do in this game? Well, in this game, you're going to be trying to shed all the cards out of your hand. And a couple things you're going to be looking at here is you're going to be trying to group things by color or by number. So when you place things out, we're going to show the rules for that in a little bit, but you're looking to place multiples of the same color or multiples of the same number. Now there's only one of each number in each color. So if you're doing multiple numbers, they'll all be different colors here. So like the 2 1s. To start out the game, whoever's going to go first is going to play a single card from their hand. Now, whenever you're leading here, you can play a single card, or if every single card in your hand is the same color or the same number, you can just go out. So the goal here is to get rid of these cards and be the first to do so. Everyone else is going to gain a point for every card that's in their hand. The game is going to end when someone gets to 15 points. And at that point, the person with the lowest score is going to win. So how do we play our turns here? So let's say we're the first player. Here, we're going to have to place out a single card. So let's say I place out this 7 right here. Now, the next player has a choice. So the next player can play a number that is higher than 7, or they can play a number that's higher than 7 with 2 cards. So remember, I had those 2 1s in my hand. Technically, I can go and place the 2 1s out. So this rule is you can always play 1 more than what's already out there. So in this case, there's only 1 card out, so I can play 2 cards. Now, these 2 cards have to follow a rule where they have to either match the same number or the same color. In this case, they match the same number. 11 is indeed greater than 7. And that player has to pick up 1 card that was played before and put it into their hand. So there was only 1, so I get that in my hand. Now we go to the next player. The next player has a choice. They can play 2 cards. They can't play 1. They have to play at least 2 cards that are going to add up to be a number that is, not add up, that's going to be a number greater than 11. Or they can play 3 cards, and they can play 1 card more. So they could put down this 65 here. So let's say they do that 65. Now they have to pick one of these cards to put in their hand. So they're going to look at your hand and see which one's going to be the best. In this case, the green one, because I already have a green in here, now I have more than 1 green. And then this card gets discarded. It's going to go to the next player. The next player is going to decide whether they're going to play a pair that is greater than that number. So, or they can play 1 more card. So they can play 3. So they could play this 851. Now, the way this works is when you play these out, you always play highest to lowest. So the number is 851. It's always going to be the highest number possible. Now, this player here that played this number can pick up one of these cards and put it into their hand and discard the other. Now, at a certain point here, players are going to need to pass. When you pass, you don't have to play a card. However, if it ends up getting back to you, meaning someone didn't pass, that wasn't the person who played this set here, then you can play again. So passing doesn't necessarily put you out of the game. It only does if everyone else passes. So once everyone else has passed and no one's playing any numbers higher, the round will end and these cards will be discarded. The person who played these cards will start the next round with 1 card. Now, the exception again is if it comes to me and it's my turn, and let's say I have this in my hand. So I get everyone passed, and it's my turn to lead a card. Because all the cards in my hand match the same color, could also be the same number, every single card, I can just go out and say I'm out and done. So what happens then? Well, once someone goes out, that person that went out gets 0 points because obviously they had no cards in their hand. Every other player that's in the game counts up the number of cards they have, and that's how many points they get. You're going to go ahead and track this on a sheet of paper here, and you're going to continue on going on rounds until someone hits 15 points. When someone hits 15 points, the game will end, and the person with the lowest score is going to win. If there's ever a tie in the game, those people are going to share the victory. Now, this game is really quick. So 15 points can go by really quick. And you can do it one of 2 different ways. I've seen, like, if you play this game on Board Game Arena, it starts with you with 15 points and you just subtract points for your hand. That's fine too. But I like the traditional route where the lowest score wins. You can also play this game with 20 points, going to the 20 points, or when you hit 20 points, it ends. I prefer to stay with the 15 and just play multiple rounds of the game. But you can increase or decrease the points as you wish, just as long as everyone agrees with it when you start the game. So that is going to be how you play Odin. Let's go ahead, back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Odin. All right, so that was Odin. Very, very fun card game. I really love this game. I have a lot of fun with it. This thing has so many layers to it and so many things that you got to think about that it's deceptively simple, but yet has a ton of strategy to the game and a ton of thinking to the game. You can't just blindly place out your cards just because you can. You got to think about for future movements and being able to get rid of that hand more efficiently. And those players that do that win this game, and I really appreciate it. So there's not a game of there's some luck to it, but it's a game of skill, and it's a weird sort of hand shedding strategy that you build. So it's one of those cool things that is a cool thought process that you have to go through for this game. That's unique to, I think, any other game I've really played. This game is definitely 100% going in my collection. I really enjoy this game. I just love this game. So if you're looking at it for a small card game that you can have a lot of fun at, that's easy to teach, but yet can get you stretched into your strategic mindset and be able to have a lot of like cool puzzles that you got to figure out throughout the game that shift, this is going to be the game for you. It's really deceptively very, very, very cool and has a lot of neat decisions that you need to make. And what's cool is if you really analyze it a bit when you're playing it, you can really see like the different things that you can do and weigh them. So I really like that a lot. It's just so many layers to such a small game, which I really appreciate. The only knock that I have on it is I really wish they would have used a normal card side. I have no idea why they use these like ultra skinny things that you can't do anything with, because the card quality is fine. However, when we play games like this, we play them a lot. So typically what we'll do is we'll sleeve them so that the sleeves wear out instead of the cards. Yes, you can repurchase the deck of cards, but that's not always guaranteed. It's not always guaranteed that this will be in stock or whatever, and we really love these games. But this game here, holy moly. These cards are such a weird size. So that's really not going to work out. And I'm a little worried with that because these are long cards. So there is the possibility of them bending and stuff and breaking down over time. It's good quality, so it's going to probably last a while, but I know that we're going to have to replace this deck. So I have to decide whether I'm going to buy a couple extra copies right now, because I think we're going to be playing that much, or not. But that's my only really minor ding on the game. It's the card quality is good. It's going to last a bit. that's fine. If you don't already sleeve your cards on there, it doesn't even matter. You're just going to play with it and then repurchase it when, if you play it that much, which is a good thing. It means you really got your money out of it. So overall, highly recommend this game. Really love it. And if you're looking for the same things, I highly recommend it. But that's my thoughts on Odin. Thank you for watching.